Hello, everybody. Jonathan Crow, Jonathan Scarecrow, for this transmission. I'm director of community at Ninja One, and I have with me a ghastly great panel who are brave enough. These brave souls agreed somehow, foolishly enough, to join us for our 5th annual IT Horror Fest. And thank you, everybody in the chat, for coming in. I'm curious, has anyone been with us for all 5 Horror Fests? Because if you have, we got to send you some stuff. We'll see, even if you lie about it. just let us know. Dean, I think you have. Let's start with you. Let's introduce our panel and get things going because we have a ton of really fun, but also great helpful content for you here, celebrating my favorite time of year, spooky season. Dean Trimpelis from Empath, head of MSP Success. You've been with us for several of these things. I believe you that you've been around for all of them. I'm not sure if that's quite true. I'll have to double check, but
I was
I'm
not
verify.
on camera for the first one, but
you were here.
Yeah, I submitted a design. You had some design contests for that one.
Yep. And well, speaking of contests, we always like to have a little fun, get people to participate, share their spooky stories, and we did the same thing this year. And we invited you all to share what was the oldest, most cursed legacy system that you've had to support. And we asked you to share your comments on LinkedIn. You came through in a big way, and there's some amazing things. We're going to get into those in a little bit. But first, let's go finish going around the panel and introducing our guests here. Callum Kyle, a senior sysadmin from Storable. Callum, you've been on a few of our programs too, including our podcast all about IT horror stories. So this is not a new subject for you.
My work experience seems to be rotated directly towards what is the most cursed thing that somebody can find in a production environment within 2 weeks of walking in the front door. So.
I love it. And we're going to definitely give you a chance to share a little bit more about that, about what you've seen. And that'll be coming in just a bit, but thanks for joining us. Next, let's go to Ninja One's own Jeff, K-pop Demon Hunter. He's our field CTO. You've seen him on all sorts of our webinars. Jeff, you are once again. And this time, I think you're muted, but this time we're going to put you through the paces in a way that's going to maybe make you a little uncomfortable. You know Ninja inside and out, but we're going to get you to extend your wings a little bit. And then last but not least, Adam, the Graybeard, once again is joining us. Adam Walter from Humanize IT. Adam has been a big partner of ours in our backups and bandwidth tabletop role-playing experiment. And he's been taking over as DM for these scenarios. And that's exactly how we would like to start off today. Look at this, Adam. I even gave our cover image a little retrofit.
Oh, yay.
So everybody joining in, here's what we're going to do. We're going to play some backups and bandwidth. If you have not seen this before, this is where we get our players who are on the screen here to go through an IT scenario delivered in a fantasy realm. And we're going to see how they do. Adam's got a few different challenges, but let's set the stage. We're going to start off with this, and then we're going to get into our prizes and all of that too. And Jeff's going to show you some ways to use Ninja to tackle those ghouls and ghosts that are in your network. But Adam, let's paint the picture here, set the table. These players are members of an MSP, and they have a boss.
What is the name of that MSP?
Yes, Steve.
Meat and Potions is the name of the MSP. And it is run by a grizzled IT veteran, Steve the Orc.
Best boss I ever had, Steve. It's you.
Who used to be an employee at Amazar.
That's right. Amazar, the company that prides itself in delivering next to impossible, impossibly fast delivery. And Steve left there to start his own MSP, A Tale as Old as Time. He's recruited you players to be his underlings, his proud technicians. And Adam, I understand that from our last adventure, Steve has kind of upgraded the operations.
Yes. As you guys all remember, last year for Horror Fest, Steve was in this IT department where a whole bunch of things went horribly wrong. We even lost an employee, the beloved Kyle Spooner, whose whereabouts are unknown. So today, Steve has decided he is going to speed up delivery, and without any of your permission, he has implemented a brand new portal system. And this portal system will allow you to choose which ticket you're going to go and work. And you have to get that done, and you can come back. No more travel time necessary. There are a few quirks with the system, but we'll get those bugs worked out eventually. Now, in order for our portal system to be effective, we have also hired our very first service manager, Kronos the Beholder. Kronos is going to make sure that you observe these SLAs because you guys have been slacking off really bad. And what we need for you to do is get in and out of these portals in between 5 and 8 minutes each. If you do not make your time, Kronos will be displeased and punish you accordingly. You see 3 portals in front of you: a red portal, a purple portal, and a blue portal. Before you enter one, you may ask Kronos what the description of the ticket is. The red portal is known as the Imp Conundrum. The purple portal is known as the Hardening Condition. And the blue portal is known as Arcane Knowledge. Team, at your ready, and go. You have 25 minutes. 20 minutes.
Yeah, let's make it tougher. We're going to go for
18
20
minutes.
Just a quick question before we get started. Since Kronos is a beholder, do we actually need to log documentation and time, or will he just see everything?
He will see everything.
Ah, fantastic. I like him already.
With his 10 eyes, all looking at you disapprovingly.
Which ones do you want to tackle first, crew?
Anyone have a preference?
I think that if we're in a situation where the problems within the portals get worse, we need to figure out priority. So some sort of prioritization for these 3. Or ask our beholder overlord if there is a prioritization that they would prefer on these tickets.
What do you think there, Adam?
Is there a question?
Otherwise, just my first instinct is go purple, go hardening first.
So can we ask Kronos if there's any priority or any like end user impact urgency that might
Give me a charisma roll.
Charisma roll.
All right.
I should get like a +20 to this roll. I'm so naturally charismatic.
One eye peers over at you.
Ooh, that's a 5, Dean.
Well, this adds +3.
Kronos looks at you disapprovingly and says, "You should just know this stuff."
Great. Thanks, Kronos. That's wonderful. Well, then I don't know. I agree with Callum. Then I love purple. Let's do purple.
Are you guys all gonna jump into purple?
Yes, because we don't split the party. We know that.
It's just safe, right? These portals are safe.
Yeah,
Ish.
totally.
They're as safe as anything else in Faerun. All right. Without any questions to the beholder on context, you jump into the purple portal. And you are presented with a weird situation. And by weird, I mean by standards of any IT professional. There is 5 systems sitting in front of you. It looks like they're all behaving very erratically. One looks like a zombie. It's kind of like, it's like very slow. It's very shambling. You see some documentation off to the side saying somebody needs to fix these. I cannot get this done. And one of them looks like a vampire. It's kind of bleeding a little bit. It has a note on it that says only works at night. There is one where it says can't access anything, dead. The final one says it kind of like it behaves erratically and wildly in blue screens every Tuesday. And so as you guys approach these systems, poof, your little friend Scrippy appears and goes, guys, I think I messed these up. I put notes on them all, let you know what I kind of found. I was trying to harden them, and bad things happen. Can you please just, if you can tell me what's wrong with them, I'll fix them for you. I don't want Kronos to know. Can you just point it to me what's wrong with each of these systems? At least 3 of them, and I'll be better. I swear I can get the rest. Just at least identify why 3 of them are not working.
Well, Robert and chat made a really important callback. As we're doing this, Ian, can I pretend that Ian's here and I'm just, literally picking up everything in the room that isn't nailed down? Just so we don't let that die. Can I have Ian's loot bag?
Did you bring Ian's loot bag with you?
Yes.
You can pick up things, but the beholder is watching.
Okay. Well, while Callum and Jeff figure out what we're going to do, I'm just going to wander around the room and try and collect anything that isn't nailed down.
All right. So we have 5 systems. We have 4 of them look weird. 1 of them looks normal. 1 we're going to call a zombie. 1 we're going to call a vampire. 1 we're going to call a mummy. And 1 we're going to call a werewolf. And Scrippy is anxiously watching for your guidance. What is wrong with each of these systems? You have to diagnose at least 3.
I'm going to take what I personally feel is the low-hanging fruit and look at the zombie and try to pull up some sort of process explorer on whatever ephemeral OS these are running to see how many antivirus processes are running at this point in time.
Sure. Give me a roll. Jonathan? Investigation. Oh, nice. So you pull the Process Explorer. It comes up kind of herky-jerkily, but as all systems do. But now it knows you're looking, so it starts speeding up a little bit. And you notice that it's actually not running very many applications. It's very clean. There's not much running, but it's still kind of just chunking along. But it's surprising how few services are actually running on this hardened system.
Can I use that investigation roll to also look at the actual resource allocation?
Resource allocation is very
on
low.
The system? Very low.
1-2% across the board.
Did Jeff's muted. It sounds like he's saying something really profound. I bet he was saying something like, are we sure the system even properly booted? Is it running in some sort of safe mode?
Actually, I was going to say, I think my first, desire here would be just to reboot all 5 machines and see which of them still have problems after we reboot them.
I'm pretty sure that's cheating.
A valid answer
You said
and troubleshooting
speedrun.
technique. If you would like to reboot all of them, Scrippy will reboot all of them for you.
I say, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, let's do it. We have to roll for that?
No, Scrippy is capable of pushing a power button.
Okay.
Scrippy is able to get them all kind of hard booted because they're kind of odd. The mummy machine comes up with a weird screen, says something about BitLocker recovery key. And then the rest of them come up with the same issues.
Can we look in Ninja One for the BitLocker recovery key and enter that?
Yes. Scrippy can do that for you. So that is the mummy machine. Mummy machine, the everything was encrypted, and the BitLocker key was lost. So Scrippy's like, I got that one. I can take care of that one. I'm running Ninja. All the stuff's capable. I can go back and I can recover, no problem. Give me help with at least 2 more. If you can get all of them, that'd be great. But
well, back to the one that I think was this the zombie one. Was that the one that Caleb was working on?
Yep.
Okay. So do we investigate one of the other ones? Like Vampire was another name?
Yep.
Yeah, let's check out the Vampire one.
Scrippy says the problem here is I can only get on it at night, like around 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. The rest of the time, I can't log on. It just denies me.
Okay. All right.
Could we run a script to change the power setting so it's always on instead of going to sleep?
I can't log on right now. It's 8 a.m.
Is it looking
it. You can
for like a network-based time server, and in the process of hardening it, we accidentally removed its ability to talk to that server?
Network. When I troubleshooted the network, everything was fine.
Okay.
Communications go back and forth. AD replication is occurring.
Can we just turn off all the lights in the room and trick it into thinking it's nighttime?
There aren't very many lights in this room. It's an IT basement.
Well, you said it's 8 a.m. Is there a possible time sync issue here?
Time looks correct.
Okay.
Any help from the audience here? Anything that the crew here should be investigating?
Chris
Ooh,
Thomas.
Yeah, Brian has a suggestion. Log on hours in AD.
Blame Scrippy.
Yes, I think we'll take Brian's suggestion and check the login hour or the log on hours in AD.
Scrippy goes, bam, 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 looks and goes, holy crap. Oops, I reversed them. He set the logon hours to only be between 11 and 5 rather than to restrict people from logging in between 11 and 5. He goes, I got that fixed. So Scrippy goes in and he does confirm that, yes, the logon hours were, that he put them in backwards.
I kind of feel like we need to tell the new service manager about how bad Scrippy is. I mean,
Oh, the beholder's watching.
yeah.
Always watching. So,
Is this like a lawful evil beholder, or is this like going to eat Scrippy beholder?
Steve calls him efficient.
Okay. All right.
All
Can
right.
we check out the werewolf
You got
computer?
a zombie, a werewolf, and a normal looking PC.
Can we check out the werewolf?
Let's do it.
What's going on at the werewolf computer?
This one, every Tuesday, we get errors and blue screens. Soon to be black screens if I ever get these patches working. And I cannot figure out what's going on every Tuesday. It just shuts down on me and it just blue screens, and then it's fine the rest of the week.
I mean, nothing important happens on Tuesdays at all. So it's just got to be random. I guess we have to throw it out and replace it. Unless, I don't know. Callum, aren't you a Microsoft expert?
I'm ish. People think I am. I don't correct them. So updates on Tuesday, but typically a single Tuesday a month. So that's hitting some alarm bells. I would like to check like error logs on here,
Sure.
and see what we can find.
Yeah, you look. Give me a roll. I'm going to give you an advantage of +3, since you're a self-professed Microsoft expert. What do you got there? A 7?
With the +10 comes to, or with the +3 comes to a 10.
Okay. So you look in the logs and you do see errors occurring every Tuesday. It looks like something's wrong with a patch, and it's trying to hit and upgrade a driver.
There's got to be a way we could either roll back or use a backup, or didn't we're running Ninja here, didn't we? Didn't we buy a backup solution recently? Can we do something like that?
Yeah, Scrippy goes, yeah, I can probably roll back. What should I roll back?
To the last known good configuration before we were getting the B sub.
Sure. Looks like that was about a month ago. Scrippy pounds on the keyboard, and away it goes. Looks like it was a bad driver that was incompatible with the Microsoft patching.
Hey, by the way, Adam, while I was wandering around, I found this like weird puzzle box thing on the floor. Can I keep this?
You might want to be careful where you open it and find a sandbox.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna put this in the bag of holding.
Ba-ba-ba-bum, So Adam, am I correct?
You solved 3 of them. Scrippy's like, I can get the last 2. Thank you, guys. You can stick around if you want, but Kronos is watching, as we all know. They are not to be trifled with, so feel free to move on to another portal.
Although, if you look at the timer now, we're about halfway through this challenge. 2 portals left.
So you guys jump out and you see 2 more portals sitting there. You have a red portal labeled the Imp Conundrum and a blue portal named Arcane Knowledge. And the purple portal is now looking a little gray. It's never letting anything through. It's kind of locked down.
Well, while they're figuring out what portal, I have massive imposter syndrome and I need validation from Kronos. Can I get like a high five? Can I roll to get a high five from the beholder?
1 green eyeball looks at you, scribbles down a note.
Oh boy. He just put me on a pip, didn't he? All right.
All right. Imp Conundrum or
I am afraid of imps, so if we could do Arcane Knowledge.
Arcane Knowledge. Yeah. Go for it.
All right, you guys all jump through the big blue portal like a bunch of sliders, and you see
Great show.
You see John Reeves Davis, great too. No, Ancient Beholder is going to say, well, just so you know, there's some time distortion to this one, possibly. We're not exactly sure what's going on here, but there's some weird vibes coming from that portal. And if a beholder's giving you a warning, you should probably heed it. So as you jump through the blue portal, you see ancient systems are still running some critical systems. NT4 and Novell are presented to you. You are given 3 scrolls. You see a beholder squiggly arm come through and hand you 3 scrolls. This is all I got, guys. Resources are tight. You can choose on these 3 devices to patch, hit with a scroll of patch, hit with a segmentation strategy, or just absolutely remove it from existence. The 3 systems are documented well. Above them floats a little description of System Alpha, brought to you by NT4. This is a sales POC demonstration environment. People are very nervous about this one because customer demos are actively used on this server and they're scheduled throughout this week. System number 2, Novell Network Beta. This one has been used for sharing marketing. It is a critical system. It has 15 years of data on it, and marketing uses this all the time. They don't know how it works. It just works. And System Gamma, a Windows 2000 print server. This is used by the delivery department to print shipping labels.
I feel safest with the Windows 2000 server. My MCSC is in 2003. So is everybody okay if we start there?
Yes.
Okay, you can choose to patch, segment, or remove this device.
I have one question. Are these single-use scrolls?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I just, while we're talking about our plan, can I go over to the 2000 machine and just sort of gently give it a hug and whisper that it came from a better time and I miss it? Basically, can I roll a charisma check to attempt to romance the 2000 server?
You can ask questions about what is on the system, anything more details about what it's being used for, and Scrippy will appear and answer the questions.
All right, so it's the print server that's printing stuff for the warehouse. I guess my first question would just simply be, do they have a pen and paper process for that? Like if we break that machine, can they still run the warehouse?
No, this is a real-time shipping operations. About $50,000 of product moves through here a day.
Whoever is in charge of their IR policy at this company needs to be fired.
We've just never had time to. They've never had time to upgrade it.
Do we know for in fact there are patches available for all 3 devices?
You know definitely for certain there are no patches. Well, there's only patches available to one of them.
But I don't know which one it is, or can I?
Well, given it's NT4 Novella and Windows 2000, I think the latest you can get is 2004 for NT4. Novell would be 0, and 2000 was 2008. Anybody in the audience want to correct me there?
Can I cast replace with SBS and just solve all of this by replacing all three of them with SBS?
Do you hate the world or just?
It has huge splash damage. You're right. It would kill everyone in the party. Glad you said something. Are there any like error messages or anything?
Nope, they're all humming along just fine.
For the marketing server, can I get some background on what exactly is hosted through there and business impact on it?
Yeah, so they use it for research and analysis of the trends of clients through the years.
Why you gotta hurt us like that, Robert?
Is there a need to do anything here? If everything's humming along fine, can we just like close up shop and leave the portal?
That is always an option.
What were the scrolls again?
Patch, segment, and remove. And I will also say the patch scroll does upgrade the OS to a modern OS.
Okay.
I mean,
Sorry, I should have put that out
It's
there.
being too realistic about this.
should we patch the Novell system then? Since I know back in the day, probably all of us would agree that was a better architecture, but who knows anything about Novell now? I don't want to make that decision on behalf of the party. What do you all think?
I'm fine with that.
I mean, it's marketing, so who cares? What do they even do? Adam, can we use the patch scroll on the Novell machine? See
You
what
can.
happens?
The whole thing goes and immediately upgrades to a brand new. We could probably make it a Linux system or a Windows system. We'll upgrade it to a nice new Windows sparkly server, and everything seems to be humming along fine. It's just a database. It's DB4. It's not the greatest, but that migrates right over to SQL, and everything kind of goes in. It's beautiful, guys. It's a work of art. Everything just kind of works. There are no migration errors. You now have a marketing server fully running on a modern Windows OS, completely hardened and cleaned up, running SQL.
What was the first server again?
That was an NT4 serving running a sales proof of concept device, proof of concept system. You have 2 scrolls left. You can either segment or remove. I'm sorry, guys. There's something coming in here. The Kronos just jumped through the portal.
Great.
There seems to be an issue, Dean.
I'm getting fired. Okay. All right.
Dean, my all-seeing eyes appeared into the service management system. Your ticket backlog is unacceptable. 47 unresolved tickets. 47! Some dating back to, is that last quarter? A beam envelops Dean, and he disappears from the portal. Dean, clean up your tickets.
Oh man! So Dean had to disappear. We are left with just a couple minutes left. I think Adam, we're gonna have to stop with this portal. So Jeff and Callum, you're down to your team of 2 here. You've got the 2 scrolls left and the 2 servers. You got sales, the sales POC, which you can either remove or segment, and you've got the delivery, which you can segment or remove. Patching is no longer an option for either of these. What do you want to do? Pick your poison.
Jeff, my thought is delete the proof of concept and segment the printing, because the printing has, like, if the printing goes down, numbers go down. If the POC goes down, numbers don't go up, but numbers don't go down.
I am in agreement with you there.
Cool. So remove the POC system and segment the printing system.
All right. So you segment out the print system and give it over to a clean environment where it's not going to infect other PCs. Release privileges applied immediately, and the print services stay up while somebody builds a new system someday at some point in the never future. The alpha system for the the POC, proof of concept sales department, dies a horrible flaming death, never to be seen again. NT4 lies one last battle cry and blue, one last pulse of blue, and thanks for Dean's hug earlier, and dies. Now the Kronos pokes his head in and goes, I just got a ton of calls. People are pissed off in the sales department. What did you guys do? Get out here. And you guys leave the portal. So you guys leave the portal and you come out, and you only got 2 of the 3. Unfortunately, the beholder is not happy. He looks over at you and looks at you with a terrible peering eye. As punishment, you must handle the documentation by hand for the next 32 hours. He casts charm on you. You are unable to sleep. He casts paralyzing ray on you. You are unable to imbibe any coffee. If you try to drink coffee, it just disappears. Enjoy your solitude.
Dang. This is a pretty... I mean, the economy, like the job market's not great, but I don't know. I think we got to test it thing.
Even Steve looks a little appalled. Guys, good work on the hardening. But Steve's a little scared of the beholder, so he just kind of like says, "Okay," and then walks away.
Oh, Steve.
All right, everybody. We
So
have
one in the arcane one. The correct answers were,
no.
If you want to know, was removing the NT4 box was the best thing you could do, possible. There was no other real way to deal with that one other than removing it from the environment. The segmenting the Market Novell server so that they could still have the data and they could reach out to it if they needed it. And then the Windows 2K, the optimal solution there was to patch and upgrade that one since it was running operations. So you guys were very close to what the actual results were supposed to be. Thank you. Anything else, Jonathan?
No, great work. Well done being brave players in our spooky Halloween themed backups and bandwidth. We had Blendon, who, for those of you who have not seen us do this before, we did kind of dive right in. So if you showed up late too, you're probably like, wait, what is happening? Backups and bandwidth is indeed IT D&D that we like to play really as a way to advocate for tabletopping, not just for security issues, but as a way to test out troubleshooting and everything too. We're going to be doing more of that in the future. And so Adam, our DM, Steve, the boss, Kronos the Beholder, they're all going to be making new appearances with a rotating cast of players. So stay tuned for more action there. But for Blendon, who was like, hey, I thought I was going to be learning about how to use Ninja. Indeed, you will do that too. And we wanted to set up these scenarios. You noticed that second one, the arcane knowledge portal. This ties in with the contest that we ran, right? And so the one thing we want to do before we get into Jeff doing a bit of demoing is we want to call out some of the best submissions to that contest that we ran. And so I'm going to share my screen, and then I want to ask you all in the audience here and our panel to help us pick winners for our prizes. And to remind everybody what we're playing for, here they are. We have a deluxe smoking Ghostbusters trap, a build your own Game Boy Advance, and a glow-in-the-dark Cthulhu statue, what every home office needs. All right, so let's pull up our top 10 finalists. We asked you to submit over LinkedIn, and we got, I think, over 70 submissions, something like that. And so there was a lot of really great ones. A lot of common themes that I would love to discuss with the panel too. But let me pull up my screen and show you our finalists. All right. So let's see here. Whoop.
Hey, we're the finalists. Nice to see you.
That you are the finalist.
Guys,
Congratulations.
while John's pulling stuff, I was letting you guys know, like when we do these D&D campaigns, they are based in reality, based upon real horror stories. So, it might be that you find out that one of your horror stories gets converted into a D&D campaign or a Back and Bales campaign coming up here soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks,
We
Adam.
want this to be actual. It's fun and it's in fantasy world, but we also want it to be like actual things. Like you had to decide which of these servers you can keep up, and I think that Callum did a great job of figuring out, okay, what's the biggest business impact here.
Good work, Callum.
Thank
All
you.
right. So our first finalist, this is from Hannon, and discovered in Office 2003 macro, still automating reports in 2025. No one dares update it. Legend says the last person who tried lost the entire template library. Ooh. So that's the first pick. Number 2, the ERP Ghost of 1998. I won't read this all aloud, but what I thought was killer about this one is shut it down. Well, actually illegal due to German data retention laws. This digital mummy has to stay alive until 2027. So I think this is just such a great one that shows you have to make compromises, right? Like we don't live in this perfect world where it's like, of course, there's things we want to take down, and we want to segment them, or we want to remove them all together, or you want to patch and update them. There are compromises that need to be made, concessions that need to be made, things that will haunt you. Callum, I don't know if anything like this rings true to you at all. And then Adam's world, I think you even mentioned this one, Adam, but there are certain names of older systems that just strike fear in the hearts of some folks. So the number 3 was the AS 400. Sorry, that was number 3. Number 4, a 2013 Exchange server that, lo and behold, we've seen these headlines happen, right? Of course it gets popped. Ransomware swoops, gets deployed throughout the organization. It's a really bad time for everybody. That's number 4. Number 5, a Windows Server 2000 box. 6 years of uptime, 0 patches. And this line, I don't know if you all have heard this. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That seems to be a recurring theme. Adam, was that something that you heard a lot in your days?
Server 2000 was rock solid. The only thing more rock solid than a Server 2000 was an NT4 Service Pack 6 box, guys. I've seen those boxes with 10 years of uptime.
This is where I love Adam getting excited about too. Like his name, the Graybeard, rings true.
Hey, one of my first tech jobs was upgrading to Service Pack 6 on NT4 so we could upgrade from Corel WordPerfect to Microsoft Office. Because the USB key support wasn't around with Service Pack 4. You had to get the Service Pack 6.
Here's another here's number 6, Sophia. I like this one too because she's commenting it's not just the systems themselves. It's also any work that you do to be able to operate any kind of like out of band stuff, custom stuff. Who is going to manage or maintain or do something with that once you leave? So she basically had to write a whole bunch of middleware to make these systems work together. And lo and behold, she thought it was, great work, great hero work, elegant work back then. I'm sure that even now, years after the code refuses to die, it's still running somewhere, haunting production servers. Like a well-documented zombie. At least there's well documentation. So that's number 6. Number 7, when I was doing freelance, I had a machine that was used in the oil industry to run their pumps. Now, I've heard this too. When it comes to older infrastructure manufacturing, the oil industry, things like this, there are things you just can't touch, right? And lo and behold, this is it. Windows 2000. This is in 2023. This is 2 years ago. This was running the pumps. The machine died. They had a very similar and wasn't being used. Able to do a motherboard transplant between the two to get it back up and running. Insane. Number 8 from John. Printers. Like this kind of, I just love John's story here at the very end too. So a Windows XP print server no one dared to touch, mapped to every workstation through a VB script from '05. One day I tried to migrate the script and retro, it broke. Everyone panicked. Somehow the printer reappeared on the network under a ghost name. No one could delete it. It kept printing blank pages for after hours for weeks. Printer unplugged and print queue kept popping up jobs. After some help, I configured the new print server with a new printer and maybe a bit of holy water. This is a long one from Pablo, but man, I love this story too. Again, it was just that that machine that everyone has, right? That's just quietly humming under a pile of dose, he says, with a faded sticky note that just said, "Do not reboot." No one knows what it does. Somebody with the patient check-in system just has to stay on. So they trace things. One went to a switch, the other went to a dot matrix printer by the front desk, and that was the first red flag. A few minutes later, power went out. Everything came back on, except for, lo and behold, the mystery machine, the mystery server. Everyone panicked. Phones blew up. Turns out it was running a custom Visual Basic app from 1998 that handled all patient intake forms. Original developers gone. Installer files, they're on floppy disks. They finally were able to bring it back online, and it's still there. It's still going on 25 years later. It still prints intake forms faster than Epic, he says.
Well, I think here everybody needs to realize that sometimes uptime is more important than being relevant. So like people make fun of AS400s. Do you guys have any idea what the uptime on those things is and the reliability is? It just costs you everything to maintain them. They are still up to date. They are still patched, and those things do not go down. They just aren't pretty.
What I like about this is kind of, I imagine me on the other side of it as the developer who has left like digital detritus over my professional career that somebody else is having to try and figure out and make work. Sometimes I sort of go, I wonder what somebody, that this lighting dimmer I built 10 years ago, I wonder if they still use that,
I mean, yeah, I think about this too with it's the technical debt aspect, right? It rolls and mounts, and a few submissions ago, I mean, the well-documented haunting, I mean, that's the ideal scenario, right? How often does that actually happen?
I'm still waiting for it.
And then the last one, a while back, I had to convert a phone system auto attendant message from a cassette tape to a WAV file. I don't even think I can explain what a cassette tape is to my kids. I'm not sure that they
it looks like a VHS tape.
That's not going to help Adam. All right, so those were our finalists, and I want to give you the audience the chance to help us pick our winners here. So I've got, don't be frightened. This is not intended to be a jump scare, but I have the world's largest QR code. I also have a link if you don't want to have that. I've got a link.
Carjacking people.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm enjoying the little like bunny robot looking guy in the QR code.
There's a link if you want to click that too. This goes to a Slido, and I'll go ahead and present that too. And we can take votes throughout the rest of the session here. But I wanted to get out the votes. This is how we're going to choose our winners. And so if you go to that link, you're going to see this page. And let's take a look. We can get some live results, which is pretty cool. So yes, let's see here. We've got coming up. We got the 2013 Exchange server, the Windows Server 2000 with 6 years of uptime. Oh man, look, this is moving too fast. I can't keep up with it. The custom Visual Basic app from '98.
It's like horse racing.
I know, right?
Windows Server 2000 in the lead. 2013 Exchange server close behind.
So while we're looking at this, I mean, Callum, looking at those scenarios, what were some that jumped out to you?
The Windows 2000 running oil pumps hits with me just purely because I have been with 2 different companies running an Optiplex 380 running Windows XP on a ratchet strap to the wall in the server room. 2 different companies, same scenario. Running the building's access control system, the badge system, because we couldn't upgrade the computer because the software that interacts with the like physical hardware, the new software won't interact with the hardware. And to upgrade the hardware is a CapEx expense because it's $300,000 to $400,000 to upgrade every single badge scanner and the wiring through the building. So that's the one that hits for. That's the one I voted for. That's the one that hits for me.
Yeah.
the most.
Been there, man.
Yeah.
So I used to work critical infrastructure, and that's everything was air gapped.
Yep.
And you couldn't upgrade these machines. Like you want to, it'd be nice, but some of these machines have 10, 15 years uptime, and they're down to the bit level, locked down.
Yeah.
But they do their job. Or manufacturing plants. I had one that made Tylenol. That thing was an NT4 box, and they had 10 years worth of spare parts, motherboards, hard drives, everything it needed was in this static closet that they knew they went to if this machine broke down.
Yeah. Oh, one of those I was tasked with getting off network. So, hello, Kitty. So that was when we discovered that you can run USB over Ethernet, which is great. So we ran an USB to Ethernet adapter out of the back of the system, up through the ceiling tiles, across the hallway into an HR office, and then back down with a keyboard and mouse connected to that with a 100-foot VGA cable for a monitor so that HR could still have access to the system and have it behind a physical locked door instead of RDPing into it.
What does this port do? Just put something in it. I forgot about that. Like I don't remember if we implemented it or what, but like that USB over Cat 5. I remember that being a thing.
Yeah. That was the first time I had ever heard of it. I was a senior help desk at this point and was tasked with doing this. It's like, whoa, I know how we can get input remotely without remoting in. It's just a really long cable. Let's go, guys.
What was the attenuation on like that? I wonder.
Like a can on a string.
Sometimes that's all you can do.
Well, I mean, that's having that
Our security
choice.
guys were happy. It was off the network. We didn't have any XP machines on the network after that, so we were fine.
But having that choice, right? That's what that last scenario is kind of meant to, obviously the forced patch segment kill kind of choice, not the most realistic, but yeah, I mean, like with the any pointers, I guess, for those types of systems where you just have to segment it. Are there any good resources or tips or anything like that for how to address those guys?
I think it really comes down to understanding the risk and mitigating the risk. Not just say oh, this is an XP machine, it's bad. It's this is the risk if somebody gets into this system. This is what they can move laterally to. This is what they have access to on the system, and go through the tree diagram on it. Of how you lock down physical access to the system when it's in your server room, who has access to what, etc.
Absolutely. Anything you want to add there, Adam?
I just legacy systems. I have some true nightmares of finding servers in closets on wheels caster wheels that people just forgot about, and just I have seen the one with the VB on it that is going back and forth up there. That one was one where I found I found an old box. I think I put it in the chat at some point, where there was a help desk tech came to me, and I was the buck stops here engineer for a large organization. If you had a problem that no one else could solve, you had to come to my team, and I happened to be the senior on that team. And they could not figure out what this financial app, where it was. They looked everywhere. and they needed to put it on VDI at the time. And we ended up tracing it back through the logs to this closet that used to be a server room in the 1990s. And there was still a server running there. I mean, this is those shelves with the 3Com modems on them that you just never got around to using. And they just kind of sit there and no one ever cleaned out that closet. In the corner of that closet was one of those old compact servers, the 380s or whatever they were, on the caster wheels that you could wheel around. And it was still running a DB4 app on NT. And we had to find some way to get that, because that was all the financial information for their portfolio that they've been storing. They just knew they clicked on an icon, and that's where they updated it.
All right, everybody. We've got about 10 minutes left, and we have another special guest here. And I want to basically officially close the poll. Thank you, everybody. It's been exciting to watch this horse race. It looks like there's a clear winner. This is Tyler Elwood's submission. Tyler, if you're watching right now, congratulations. You won that sweet deluxe Ghostbusters trap set with your submission around the Windows Server 2000 with 6 years of uptime. Oh, look at this. I got to shut down this poll before.
Neck, man.
Stop it. All right. And so let's see. We got number 2 was the Stacy Medina with the 2013 Exchange server. And it looked like number 3 was the oil pump scenario. So Callum, your vote helped. So congratulations, Stacy. You've won the Build Your Own Game Boy Advance. And let's see, who was the oil pump? Let's see, Steve Radabow. You are the winner of the Cthulhu, the glow-in-the-dark Cthulhu statue. Thank you, everybody, for submitting that. That was a ton of fun. Really enjoyed seeing everybody's submissions. Thanks, everybody, for doing that. And now I mentioned a special guest. It's a very spooky special guest. We have Venom himself. Mark Giordano, who folks in our Discord, if you're not a member of the Discord, you should totally be there. Anti-Venom himself here once again. He wears this every day. This isn't like a special thing. This is how I see him all the time. Mark, Anti-Venom, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having us.
So, Mark, here we are. Our poor viewers here were asking, what is this? What are we doing? I thought I was going to be learning how to do things in Ninja. You did provide a little bit of a teaser for some new out-of-the-box scripts that are going to be coming into Ninja. I've got a list of them here, but do you want to talk about those a little bit? And for context, everybody, Mark is the guy behind our out-of-box scripts. He and the team are working constantly. You'll see him he's one of the most active guys in the Discord, providing scripting advice, answering questions about Ninja. And a lot of times we'll take what is submitted with the script share, and Mark and his team will work into getting that baked right into Ninja. Did I do a good enough job there, Mark? Do you want to add anything else there?
Yes, you are safe for now. I will not eat your head. But Jeff, you're next. I think I broke Jeff. I think Jeff's broken.
Yes.
So it's a little hard to see through this thing. I can see through it. It's a little hard to see. I'm not gonna type anything. My fingers will stick to everything I touch, so I can't touch anything. Yeah, we have a plethora of new scripts coming for the 11.0 release. These actually will be dropping just before 11.0 or almost right with it this time. So the end of this week, potentially the beginning of next week. Some really cool ones I think that the community will enjoy. First off, we have an Active Directory audit report. Now, we already have a number of Active Directory scripts inside the template library, but this one, think of it as like a giant collection of some of the ones we already have with some additional ones. So you import this one, you have to set up, I think it's 4 custom fields, because we are writing a lot of information back. We're going to audit everything from like the password policy configurations that are set up for the Active Directory environment to user login details, account details, security groups. We are going to pull in a bunch of information so that you kind of have a high level view of your Active Directory environment as a whole, and you can kind of pick and filter some of the things you want to see as it spits this out into the WYSIWYG custom field. So it's going to be a nice report. It's going to show you a lot of information. So that one, we're excited about that one. For those of you running a large Dell fleet, you may have heard of the Dell Control Volt. It's apparently weird to speak in this too. Control Volt vulnerability check. That's out there where certain ones using the older Control Volt are vulnerable to this particular CVE that came out. So this script's actually going to check for that. And it has an optional parameter where you can actually have it remediate if it finds that particular issue. You can actually just have it go ahead and fix it. It'll download the appropriate drivers and firmware and go ahead and do the updates for you automatically. So keeps it nice and easy, keeps it, your fleet running without that. The next one is enable or disable user login, log off auditing. I know we were talking about, at least you and I, Jonathan, about, endpoint hardening and things like that. I think this can kind of go into that in the sense of at least you can this helps you to be able to audit users that are logging in, logging off. A lot of times that is done for security practices. So this is just a quick script to enable or disable that. We have install PowerShell for Windows, Mac OS, and we will be dropping a Linux one, but I think that one might miss this release. As we know, the world is moving towards PowerShell 7. And so we want to start to give it an easy way for people to deploy that onto their machines. And lastly, and I know that this has been a popular one in the community, there's actually a couple renditions and versions of this in the community. So we've decided to, go ahead and put one of these in our template library and put our spin on it and our take on it, but it's the Manage Dell Command Updates. So again, targeting those with Dell fleets. You can do a lot of stuff with Dell Command Update. We took it one step further, and we're going to allow you to scan for all these drivers like Dell Command Update does, but we're going to allow you to kind of pick and choose how you want to do it. You can do it by like the priority or the criticality of it. You can do the whole, I just want to update ones that are critical. You can do it by groups. You can filter by specific ones. You can put in the IDs. So you're going to have a lot of options to manage it and really get that granular management out of Dell Command Update. So hopefully people will enjoy that. And yeah, we're excited to drop those.
I'm not sure any other vendor can say that they have Venom working behind the scenes, adding scripts to the product. So I just appreciate you being on our side.
For now.
He's got to get back to his day job at the Daily Bugle.
If I don't get back, Peter Parker's going to take all my pictures.
Thank you so much, Mark, Anti-Venom. Always a pleasure.
You guys are awesome.
Oh man. Okay. And with that, we're right at time. If you have to jump, totally understand. But Jeff, we brought you on for a reason too. We want you to show off a couple of things. What did you have in mind after this topic? I basically challenged you, like, what are some ways that folks can use Ninja to harden their system? We talked a lot about endpoint hardening to keep out proactively a lot of the bad stuff that can happen. Callum and Adam, just wanted to check with you guys. Are you okay to stay on for a few, or do you have to jump? Oh, wait, hold on.
I'm good.
Okay, cool.
I'm also not muted. So.
I think I muted Adam when he was typing.
What? Oh, my mechanical keyboard annoys you, young kid.
Okay, granted, you can speak again.
No, I'm good. I have my community update. Usually do 1 to 2, and this is my community update this week. So,
all right, cool. Well, everybody, if you all have to jump in the audience here, thank you so much for joining us for our 5th annual IT Horror Fest. We are going to have the recording up, and we'll have links to some things, including those scripts that Mark just talked about. We'll let people know, Robert, where the template library is, how to access it. So we'll make sure that's all in the comments in this YouTube video. But with that, Jeff, do you still have time to share your screen and show us a couple of things?
Yeah, I'll keep it real short,
Cool.
but I do have a couple things to show off.
Sweet. Well, let's do it. So I'm going to bring up your screen here. Hopefully. Let's see.
You can do this by visualization. Does everybody have a good imagination?
All right. Sorry. Hold on, Jeff. 1 second.
I'll also confess here, I'll vamp while Jonathan's getting this going. I have never done any tabletop gaming before. Jonathan told me this like an hour before this was starting. So this was like walking into Whose Line Is It Anyway without any notice and just immediately be like, do this. So
Well, the
it
good-
did not like
are
fall on my
important.
face too much.
The good part is the points don't matter. So
Thank you.
All right, Jeff. I got you up. Thanks for
Thank
bearing
you
with
very
me
much.
there.
So I wanted to touch on a couple different things. One is a few template library scripts that I think are particularly useful for gaining a foothold in terms of what you have in your environment. If you go into the template library, I know there was a question here from a Robert who was curious about where the template library is actually located. And you can see that here under administration and then automation. There's the template library. And one of the ones I like in here is for installed remote access tools. So what this actually does is look for any of the common remote access tools. If they're present on the system, then you get an alert letting you know that that tool is in place. I think this is incredibly invaluable. Any remote access tools in your environment, you should probably have a very good handle on what they are, what's permitted, and what's allowed. Having unauthorized, unknown remote access tools in place, that is how cyber attacks happen. I know for a fact that there was a cyber attack in a town just over from me a couple years ago, and it was through a remote access tool that they didn't know about. Somebody managed to get in there, and it was actually, I think, for like the city water system too, which is especially scary. So I think just in general, having this in place is a great first step. If you don't know what remote access tools you have in place, you're probably opening yourself up to the likelihood of having a poor time. There's plenty of other good stuff inside of the template library. I'll try to keep this relatively brief. I want to talk about something that's not actually in the template library. It is this free third-party PowerShell module that I've mentioned before called Hardening Kitty. And what this does is it essentially is doing compare and contrast. You can use either a findings list from Hardening Kitty. You can go ahead and customize your own. Whatever the settings in that findings list are, you are comparing the state of the device against that CSV. And wherever there is a discrepancy, that's going to be considered a failure. And then obviously where the setting is good and correct, that's going to be a pass. Now, I'm not a huge fan of using this for the actual hardening of the system, just because there's always the possibility that you're going to break something. I've worked with a lot of legacy systems, like we've talked about today, that don't allow you to do things like disable older versions of TLS because they are using older versions of TLS. And by disabling, I would then go ahead and break my whole system. And as we talked about, this is kind of where the rubber meets the road between what is good practice, from an IT and security perspective, and what makes money for the company, and what you are going to be able to get away with in the name of security in compared to business operation. So I don't like using this for the actual implementation of the hardening. There are plenty of scripts inside of the template library that implement like certain aspects of hardening, like disabling weak TLS, like disabling PowerShell 2.0, like setting account lockout thresholds. But yeah, I don't usually recommend using that PowerShell module for the implementation. I do, however, think it's very good at the reporting aspect. So letting you know which of these settings have been implemented and which of them have not. The nice thing about the findings lists is that some of them are going to be benchmarks, CIS benchmarks, or other benchmarks from the DoD or other governments. Essentially maintaining a minimum baseline of those, you can compare, what am I doing in compliance with those particular benchmarks. You can see here I'm doing very poorly. I am not in compliance with anything at all. I have not passed anything, but I do have this nice little custom field here that gives me the overall pass-fail and then the individual per line item of what's a failure, what's a pass, what is the actual name of the goal we're trying to get to here, what's the actual setting we're trying to modify. And this is just nice to have, easily visible inside of the platform. So yeah, like I said, I'll keep it short here because I know we're already over time, but I think that kind of the first step in anything is getting the information so you can make a decision. If you don't have good information, you tend to make poor decisions, at least in my case. So this is one way you can get additional information and hopefully make more informed strategic decisions.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Jeff. All right. Well, we've gone over. It's the witching hour. Before we leave, Callum, any final words that you would share from your own? You mentioned, you've seen some things too. You have a knack for going on to new jobs and immediately finding the systems that shouldn't be there or that you hope wouldn't be there. Any other kind of parting words that you'd want to share?
Don't put server racks in large bathrooms. Just in general.
Just in small ones?
Well, any bathrooms, preferably.
I love this story. We've done contests in the past where I think people showing the pictures and you kind of like cabling those photos, like the horror things.
It was beautifully cabled.
Okay.
It was just in a bathroom next to the toilet. And it's like, why? Why are you here?
Is it still there?
So far as I know. It was there when I left that job.
Amazing. Okay, so water cooled racks.
That is
Job
not
technology.
water, Jonathan.
Yeah. Server racks in a sauna? Question mark. I guess where do we draw the line? Yeah.
If you're
You have to
finished,
keep
it's
them
fine. If you're not finished, don't do it.
Adam, how about you? Any parting words of wisdom? Oh, wait, I've muted you again. It's that keyboard, man. I know. I'm really messing with your style. I promise that I'm not just doing this to mess with you.
Cannot be heard.
There you go.
I just get these messages across the board like you cannot be heard. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited. I was excited to hear about the scripting that was coming up. As you guys all know, that I've been heavy into AI lately, and so if I may, I've been building out some really cool integrations with Ninja RMM using some vibe coding. And if anybody's interested in more of that, feel free to email me. It's been more of like I don't think I've slept much lately. It's such a rabbit hole. I'm a gamer, and vibe coding really feeds that addiction. It's like the whole thing of engineers building a script taking 12 hours for something you could do manually in 5 minutes. Like, it feeds that addiction. So if anyone wants to know more about like vibe coding and AI and how to like build really cool tools using the Ninja RMM API, email me. It's been my all-consuming, unsleeping endeavor lately because it's so much fun. And Ninja's API makes it really easy as compared to some other certain ones that love nested functions.
And when there's also, I'm glad you brought that up, Adam. And you have been showing off some really cool, interesting things and talking with our PMs. And there's other ways. Absolutely, you should reach out to Adam via email. We can drop the email. I don't know if you want us to have that in the YouTube description, but you can also jump into our Discord, and Adam is active there too. And we have our own API channel where maybe Adam, we even set up a temporary channel for everybody to kind of talk through some of these projects.
Ninja Vibe. We need to create a channel called Ninja Vibe where people can show off their vibe coding. Seriously, guys, it's really easy. If you don't know anything about APIs and you work with Ninja, I know this is a bit of an advertisement, but I work with all the vendors out there. But if you go out to, that's my wife, by the way, people. So, anyways, if you don't know anything about APIs, you don't know anything about coding, and you use Lovable or Replit, it understands the Ninja API. It will figure it out. You say, I would like to pull assets that do this, and then give me a report that does that. Ninja's API is so easy to use that it takes like minutes to build really cool stuff. Again, reach out to me. I'm happy to show you what I've been working on. And I don't know any code. I'm a computer scientist by education, but that was 25 years ago. But I have spent probably 4 weeks nonstop coding.
Well, we're going to do some other follow-up streams because you're not the only one. There's other folks too. And Ninja has been designed with the API for people to be able to do a lot of interesting things there.
Almost like we need a contest there, Jonathan.
Right. And so, stay tuned, everybody. Stacy says, teach me. That's kind of our goal too. We want to show people we want to connect everybody. What are you working on? How can we learn from each other? And so definitely keep an eye out. We'll have more cool things in the future. Thank you for hanging tight with us, everybody. For those of you who practice, happy Halloween tomorrow. It's always a blast to have this session. It's one of my favorite events for the year. Thank you, everybody. Congratulations to our contest winners, and stay secure and safe out there, everybody.